Deportiva y con swing.
Deportiva y con swing.
La factoría del deporte desde New York para ti. Es una máquina.
Es una máquina
Pensada para ti.
pensada para ti. Número uno en las redes, dale like y compartir.
Con informaciones importantes siempre frescas.
Y con entrevistas que te ponen de cabeza.
Lo mejor del deporte lo encontrarás aquí.
Búscale en las redes, dale like y compartir.
Suscríbete,
Ay sí,
infórmate.
ok. Dale a la campana para que te llegue.
Steve, first off, tight second half. You guys were able to pull away down the stretches. What'd you make of your play to seal it?
Yeah, I thought the guys found a way. I think we missed 3 of our last 26 threes. So when you find a way to win, when you can't make a 3, I think it's always a good win. So we didn't have our best stuff. We didn't make shots, but we found a way to hold them to 47 in the second half. So proud of the effort, proud of the mentality to stick with it even when things weren't easy.
Steve, how would you describe Kevin's performance today?
Yeah, Kevin was unbelievable. Obviously carried us, made a lot of big plays, rebounds, assists, the whole deal. So he was Kevin Durant on full display. But I think also, you got to tip your hat to all the other guys that did so many things out there. Andre had another big night. I thought Nick Claxton was great with his energy and defense. Bruce Brown continues his great play. JJ brought it and gave us minutes, and Goran, just a soldier out there organizing us and doing all those little things. I could go on, but it's a team win, and Kevin carried us in a lot of ways, but without those other guys, it's not happening.
Steve, you had your fair share of weird occurrences in your time as a coach, given the times we're in. I mean, did it phase you at all, or come off weird to you seeing Kyrie courtside, and then obviously being able to join you guys at halftime and everything?
We were well prepared for it, so it didn't really phase us.
Coach, can you also expound on Bruce and the impact he had tonight? It seems like he's just strung together a really strong set of games since maybe the trade deadline. Just what have you seen in him since then?
Bruce has been great, locked in defensively. We've been pushing him to find his identity down there. He's been really solid with the game plan. When he pitches in with 15 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 2 steals. I mean, it's just winning basketball plays he makes over and over. So just love his competitiveness, his spirit, and defensively, he's really locked in.
And then I guess if you had to look at one thing from this, is 43 minutes for Kevin. I mean, do you think that's going to have to be the case with these games that Kyrie's not here, that Kevin's just naturally going to have to shoulder a larger load?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously, we hope that we can keep him under 40. Tonight, though, was one of those games where we just needed him. With Seth going out, we had too many lineups without a shooter on the floor, and it just makes it so difficult to score. And so we rode Kevin a lot tonight, and we needed all of it for the win. Yeah, he's had an ankle calf situation that's been bugging him, but he was due to play, and I think just an early game he couldn't get it right before the game. So we don't think it's been there, so it's not a surprise. We just thought he would play today, but I think he just with an early game couldn't get it right in time to go.
Steve, you touched on the 3-point shooting. Just how much was that their defense make miss versus maybe you guys forcing some stuff?
I mean, I think we had plenty of good looks. We just didn't knock down. And that's the game. You don't make them every night, so you got to find other ways to win.
Steve, what is it like coaching a game and looking over and seeing Kyrie sitting there courtside?
It doesn't really affect us. We're used to stuff like that. So, we just tried to stay focused and try to win the game. And we know there's the oddities to everything, but we're locked in on the task at hand.
What was his message to the group at halftime?
He didn't have a message for us. At least
Was he in there with you guys?
Yes.
So he was just
sitting there with his teammates.
Why wasn't he able to sit on the bench?
I'm not sure. I don't know the rules that well.
Andre, what's it like just to be on the floor when Kevin's having one of those nights?
It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch and fun to be a part of. He's the best player in the world. It's real cool for me just to be a part of this and to watch him be great.
Was it at all awkward to see Kyrie walk through the arena and sit down courtside, but also not be able to play?
Yeah, that was dope to see him come to the game and sit courtside. It's kind of like there's a word I want to use, but I got to keep it to myself. I'll say it to you afterwards. But it was really cool for him to come and watch the game and support the team.
Obviously, it was a pretty back and forth game throughout the second half. So what do you think was the difference for you guys down the stretch?
We mean like to come out with the win?
Yeah.
I think we locked in down the stretch of the game, made them take tough shots. Bruce came up big down the stretch of the game, getting a big time steal and getting out on the break. So I think if we continue to play like that, we'll be great.
I feel like we don't see players your size have feet as quick as yours in a way. Just like, how did that come about?
Shit, genetics. You could thank my mom for that. There's nothing I worked on. It just was there. Just genetics. That's it.
There was a play, you guys were up maybe 7, I think late, and then KD got depleted on the play and they go on like a 9-0 run. Did you guys feel like that play took a little bit of wind out of you guys? And if so,
talking about seeing him go down like that?
Yeah. And then how did you guys, if that's so, how did you guys kind of flip the script and turn it back around and settle yourselves in the last minute and a half?
I wouldn't say it deflated us. I would say more so got us more fired up to win the game because that was a interesting play. I mean, it's a basketball play at the end of the day, but it's tough to see our star player go down like that. So I think all in all, we just locked in and figured out how to come out with a win.
Bruce, for starters, just what's it like to be on the floor when Kevin is having one of the nights like he's had today?
It's hard not to watch. Man, they were sending 3 guys over at him. He was still just shooting right over him. Man, that man's insane. He makes everything look easy out there.
And what's it like when Kyrie walks in and you see him courtside? Obviously, he can't play, and then he comes with you guys into the locker room. Just what?
Yeah,
what
that was crazy. I mean, I heard some noise going on, and I turned around and I seen Kai. But I just don't understand the ruling on him being in the arena and not being able to play. It just doesn't make sense to me. But it's good to see him back in Barclays.
And you're kind of on a stretch right now where you're playing some really good, consistent basketball every day. Just what's it like for you to have this stretch, given everything that's going on this season? And B, what do you attribute this stretch to?
I think it was at the beginning of the season, it was all mental for me. I was trying to fit in the role that I had last year, and it wasn't working. So I got kind of frustrated, and that's when I kind of got out of the rotation. Then I went to Smoke, one of the coaches. I was like, bro, I want to get better. So we got to work on something. We got to do something different. So I started working on a little bit of guard stuff, just getting back to my game, the way I played my whole life, and it's starting to work.
Digging down on that, when you said you were, kind of trying to play the role that you had played last year that wasn't working, was that because they were using you differently?
No, I just think teams scouted it, and we had less shooters than we did last year. I mean, last year was Jeff, Joe, and then when Joe went down, sometimes I was playing with JJ or DB, which they're slashers like I am. So they're just, the big would come early, and I'll try to float, but I mean, I'll shoot an air ball. So.
And can you just give us your vantage point on the play where you got the deflection where Fournier was kind of trying to pass back inside?
Yeah, so we were in 1 through 5 red before the ball gets in. And Fournier kind of got me on the move going to the corner. I kind of fell asleep, and then I seen Nick kind of pent in. He did get around, but I didn't think he could get there. So I just ran out, and then I knew Mitchell was wide open since me and Nick were next to the ball. So I just tried to get a hand up.
You said you heard the noise and then you saw Kyrie.
Yeah.
Did you know he was going to be here at some point? Just didn't know when, or were you?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know at all.
Was it sort of like, oh my God, that's Kyrie? Like, it was that much of a
I knew he can come in and be in the arena, but I didn't know if he was coming or not.
Does it happen a lot in games where you hear noise in the stands and you don't know what's going on because it's not something?
That's different. Kai's in the building. Yeah, it was just good to see him back in here.
One more. What have you seen from Nick in these last couple of games? I feel like he played pretty well against the Sixers, and then again tonight.
He's being aggressive. When Nick comes in, he can guard at 1 through 5. When he rolls, he's looking to score the ball because he is 7 feet. Nobody's stopping him down there. He's super athletic, great player. I'm just happy to see him back out there and healthy.
Bruce, the stretch where you've been in the lineup has been since the trade deadline when you guys got Andre. What's it been like playing with Andre Drummond? What do you feel like he's kind of brought to the team?
Yeah, I mean, Dre knows exactly how I played with me in Detroit when I was the primary one. He just tells me to be aggressive every night. BG also comes to talk to me before the games. Just play your game, go out there, do you, and just get easy ones early. I think that's been my success. I've always got either like the first bucket or the second bucket, and that just gets me going. And I get a few offensive rebounds.
Bruce, you were in a zone in the third quarter. You were even attacking Julius Randle. Can you walk us through that moment? What's going on through your mind when you're in a zone like that?
Yeah, they're just doubling Kev, and I just started flashing to the middle, and I knew Julius Randle didn't want to foul, so I just get right to my floater. He wasn't going to jump or contest a shot at all, so I just get to my spot and finish the shot.
Kevin, I mean, for starters, 53. Just where did that come from, and did you feel that coming into the night?
Nah, I mean, I don't really like to predetermine what I'm gonna do out there. You know, I just try to go with the flow and do what's required of me out there. And I felt like tonight, you know, we were shorthanded a bit in the scoring department. You know, missing Kai, missing Seth, missing LaMarcus. So I felt like we started the game off fast, but then they got hot as well. And you know, I didn't want us to get stagnant on the offensive side of the ball, so I just put up a lot of shots tonight. And Andre was there to rebound a lot of them for me. And guys played off of me today. You know, they seen I had it going early, so you know they were looking for me pretty often. So it was I felt good as the game went on.
And second, just what was the feeling when Kyrie comes into the building and sits courtside, walks with you guys into the locker room, but obviously can't take 2 steps onto the floor and play?
It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand it at all. I mean, it's a few people in our arena that's unvaxxed, right? Like, they lifted all of that in our arena, right? So I don't get it.
It's a second mandate that says he can come in but can't play.
I don't get it. It just feels like at this point now, somebody's trying to make a statement or a point to flex their authority. But, you know, everybody out here looking for attention, and that's what I feel like the mayor wants right now, some attention, you know. But he'll figure it out soon. He better. But it just didn't make any sense. Like, there's unvaxxed people in this building already. We got a guy who can come into the building. I guess, are they fearing our safety? I don't get it. So, yeah, we're all confused. Pretty much everybody in the world is confused at this point. Early on in the season, you know, people didn't understand what was going on, but now it just looks stupid. So hopefully, Eric, you got to figure this out.
You got to talk to him at the end of the game there. Where you guys, is that like a good to see you, or does he talk to you about the game? Did he say like a good game, or was?
I mean, I seen him yesterday. you know. So it's just for y'all. I mean, the fans and the first time seeing him in here, I guess it's something different. But we see him every day in practice. You know, he can come to the practice facility, so he could travel on the road. But
when you have a game like that, he doesn't say. I mean, we've heard you talk about his game before. He didn't say anything to you like, "Oh, that was okay." That was
Yeah, he definitely said it was a special game, but we say that to each other. He said that to me after I had 14 points in Charlotte. You know, I just think we appreciate each other's, the subtleties in each other's game. It don't have to be a huge night for us to appreciate what one another did.
Kevin, what's it like being out there on the floor and feeling like you can dominate whenever you want to?
What's it like? You feel kind of at ease knowing that you can affect so many, you know, different plays and different areas of the game, which would, with my skill set, and I can affect my teammates and how they approach the game with my skill set. So I just try to think about the big picture and seeing, you know, I know I work on my game and I've gotten to this point as an individual player, but I'm at a point in my career is like, all right, how can I impact everybody out here? You know, how can I make the other coaches think about their game plans? And, you know, so I feel like I upped the level of everybody out on the floor, and that's a good feeling to have.
And following up on the Kyrie stuff, what is it like playing and looking over and seeing him right there?
Yeah, I was at the free throw line, I think, when he walked in, and me and Drum looked at each other and was like, yo, this is unreal. Like, I've never seen nothing like this before. And we just smiled. And I mean, been like, we can say that about a lot of situations over these last 2 or 3 years where things just didn't make any sense, you know, especially with COVID being involved. So hopefully it gets figured out. Like I said, Eric, you gotta figure something out, man, because you know, it's looking crazy, especially on national TV, and he can come to the game but not play. Like, come on, man. Hey, yo, Eric.
Kevin, can you talk about the stretch that Bruce has had these last few games? I mean, he's just been on a tear, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, last year we used him as a screener, roller to the rim, and he is effective in that role. But now, I mean, I think that helped him into his development as a player, playing in different spots on the floor. So you see this year, he's playing like an all-around player, a guard, shooting a three, getting it off the rim, defending as he always does. 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, like 15 points. I mean, he's just playing with ultimate confidence. And, you know, when you start to see, I mean, I look at Bruce as still a younger player, and you start to see younger players figure out what they want to do in this league. It's fun to see in real time. And I'm just excited that he's getting better and better. And he's not complacent with where he is right now. I can tell you that.
And second, I mean, just if the mandate stays in place, Kyrie's only going to be able to play in 4 of the last 14 games, which means it's going to be a heavier load on you. Do you look at it that way? And are you ready to, I guess, shoulder that load for the rest of the season?
What's the last question? Let me die out there, man. I told you.
Drummond, 18 and 10 tonight. He's been here about a month now. What has his impact been on this group?
Man, it's just incredible. I mean, I feel like when Drum simplifies the game, you know, he's a force. You know, when he's rolling to the rim, rebounding our misses, you know, running the floor, defending like he did, protecting the rim, he had nights like this easily. I mean, double-doubles for him. He could do that in his sleep. So it's all about staying focused and on us as teammates to put him in good positions to be successful.
You hit like a midi to put you guys up by, I think, 7, maybe 4 minutes left. And then right after that, that's when Julius got you and you went down. And I think they went on a 9-0 run after that.
Clear path and a 2-3.
Right. Exactly. I mean, what kind of explanation, if any, did you get from the ref? And do you think that kind of threw you guys off at that point?
Yeah, for sure. The ref said he came over and just took the ball out of my hands, but it was a similar play against Philly where I did the same thing and try to run and jump and be when he spun. And then I got there a little too early and hit him, and they called the foul. So I was expecting the same thing for me because I'm blindsided and he running full speed, not turning to him. I got to be able to spin. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told him. And it was one of those 50-50 plays he felt like that Julius got. But I'm glad we was able to bounce back from that and not let that, spiral us and lead us to an L. And guys made plays. Bruce and Clax were huge making that defensive play to see the game for us. So I like how poised we stayed after that.
That's exactly what I was asking. How did you guys from, I think it was 9-0 run, how did you guys kind of settle that emotionally and not let it become something that was game deciding?
Yeah, I mean, because somewhat out of our control. We all felt that call should have been different, but we can't let it affect us for the next few plays, especially late in the game. So that's just having veteran presence out there. Guys understood that we just got to keep pushing and win the game, and that's what we did.
Hola, soy Don Ramírez, pitcher de los Yankees Nueva York. Un saludo a la máquina deportiva.
Hola, le habla Iñaki Betancourt de los Kansas City. Saludo a la máquina deportiva. Hola, soy Ángel Pagán y los invito a la máquina deportiva.
Soy Juan Rivera de los Angelinos. Un saludo a la máquina deportiva.
Mi nombre es Carlos Rosa de los Kansas City. Un saludo a la máquina deportiva.
Eres Val, un saludo para la máquina deportiva.
Luis Castillo. Lo invitamos a la máquina deportiva.
Yo soy Kendry Morales, primera base de los Anaheim. Un saludo para la máquina deportiva.
Regresó Ramón Ramírez para invitarlo a la máquina deportiva.
I'm Mike Jacobs from Kansas City Royals, inviting you to la máquina deportiva.
José Contreras, pitcher de White Sox. Un saludo especial para la máquina deportiva.
I'm Daniel Murphy with the New York Mets. I invite you to continue with Máquina Deportiva.
Hola, soy Brian Peña. Saludos a la máquina deportiva.